start the broadcast. You can.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare.
When we gave last time? Where is the hard disk? Let's see, that is 5,000 pen drive. Hare Krishna, Shisha.
Hare Krishna.
Today there was morning lightning in our place. So, you know that? Not lightning, some same coconut thing. Some wire has become chapped and double power came to our temple.
Yeah.
Modem has gone. Therefore, through mobile app connected. Chalo, so we start Sridhar. Okay? People have come to watch. Now, last time we discussed Jnana Dimirandasya Jnana Janashalakya Chakshurapiyena Tasmai Shri Guru Vimanaye Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Gaurvani Charine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Vaishnavi Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasti Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Nam Hare. So now let us count the wives of Krishna. Krishna had how many wives? 16,108.
108.
Now the first wife was, who was the first wife?
Rukmini.
Yes, done. What is the second wife?
Second wife is Jambavati. Yeah. Then Satyabhama.
Third one, he felt embarrassed.
Satyabhama.
Satyraji's daughter.
Yeah,
the daughter of Satyraji, sort of the Jambavan and
yeah. That Samantha.
The daughter of Bhishmaka. Okay, done 3.
Yeah.
And now in
then Kalindi.
And the 16,000 other wholesale late Bhaumasura. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, after discuss, one queen we discuss of the 5 in this chapter. 3 are over in the last chapter. 3 over in the last chapter is Bhama. Okay?
Yeah.
In this chapter, one we discussed last time, that was Kalindi. Kalindi is Yamuna. daughter of Yamuna personified, daughter of sun god, correct? Whom
Sun
Krishna
god.
is married.
Yeah.
Okay, that is more will come in this chapter.
Yeah.
Let's check. Yeah, they were personified. Take a path. Take a Kandiva. Take a tree and marriage. Go to the next one. So you are able to see Shisha.
Yeah, Prabhu. Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yeah. Yeah.
This on this page.
Yeah, you read.
This page, no, Prabhu. Hastinapura.
Avantipura.
Yeah. Yeah. Mata just come. That she can read.
Reader.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah,
Hare
she can
Krishna.
read.
Tell me the wives. How many wives he had, Krishna?
16,108.
16,108. And how many he married previously?
Sorry,
Oh,
Prabhuji?
previously he has married how many in the last chapter?
Oh, 3.
Who?
3. Rukmini, Satyabhama, and Jambuvati.
Take a 3. And then in this chapter, which he married last time?
5.
Which one he married? This chapter 5. So which one he married first?
Kalindi.
Krishna, Yuresh, welcome.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna all the men.
So this chapter he married which one? Kalindi, Anna? The Yamuna,
Yeah.
daughter of sun god. Okay. Okay. Now let us see. This we have 4 more to go in this chapter. So let us see which are the 4. So we have Rukmini, Jambavati, Satyabhama, and Kalindi. 4 over. Chalo. Yes, Nupur Mataji, you start. Then Yuresh can also read. Yeah.
Kalindi.
The
Okay.
king of
Okay. The kings of Avantipura, now known as Ujjain, were named Vinda and Anuvinda. Both kings were under the control of Duryodhan. They had one sister named Mitravinda, who was very qualified, learned, and elegant girl. She was the daughter of one of Krishna's aunts. She was to select her husband in the assembly of princes, but she strongly desired to have Krishna as her husband. During the assembly for selecting her husband, however, Krishna was present and he forcibly carried away Mitravinda in the presence of all other royal princesses. Being unable to resist Krishna, the princesses were left simply looking at each other. After this incident, Krishna married the daughter of King of Koshala. The king of Koshala province was called
Okay, so now the 5th one is Mitravinda. Okay.
Mitravinda.
So let us see that king of Avantipura, now Ujjain. Okay. The kings were named Vinda and Anuvinda, and both these kings were under the control of Duryodhana. Okay. And they had one sister named Mitravinda, was the sister. Okay. And daughter of one of the Krishna's aunt. Also another connection, she is also daughter of one of the Krishna aunts. Okay, so anyway, Mitravinda, Ujjain, okay? She is the sister of 2 kings of Tripura, Vinda and Anuvinda. Okay, must have come in Mahabharata war and died, these 2 people. Yeah? Okay. Unable to resist Krishna, the princess simply were looking at each other. Krishna managed. Okay, one more. Then now Krishna got how many now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 4 in this chapter. One is Kalindi, that is Yamuna personified, and here is Mitravinda. Yes, next.
After this incident, Krishna married the daughter of the king of Koshala. The king of Koshala province was called Nagnajit. He was very pious and was a follower of Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. His most beautiful daughter was named Satya.
Just wait. Oh, sorry.
Sometimes Satya was called Nagnajiti, for she was the daughter of King Nagnajit. King Nagnajit wanted to give the hand of his daughter to any prince who could defeat 7 very strong stalwart bulls maintained by him. No one in the princely order could defeat the 7 bulls, and therefore no one could claim the hand of Satya. The 7 bulls were very strong, and they could hardly bear even the smell of any prince. Many princes approached this kingdom and tried to subdue those bulls, but instead of controlling them, they themselves were defeated. This news was spread all over the country, and when Krishna heard that the girl Satya could be achieved only by defeating the 7 bulls, he prepared himself to go to the kingdom of Koshala. With many soldiers, he approached that part of the country known as Ayodhya, making a regular state visit.
Okay. Ayodhya he made a regular state visit. Okay, Krishna is gone. And the place is Ayodhya. Previous one was Ujjain. Yeah.
When it was known to the king of Koshala that Krishna had come to ask the hand of his daughter, he became very pleased. With great respect and pomp, he welcomed Krishna to the kingdom. When Krishna
Your dog's
approached,
there also. American dogs. Huh? Or your dog, Shisha?
it's from
I don't
India.
know somewhere.
No, Australia maybe. Yuresh, it is the Australian dogs?
No, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I opened the door.
That is Indian dog. Mangalore dogs only. Chalo.
When Krishna approached him, he offered him a suitable sitting place and articles for reception. Everything appeared to be very elegant. Krishna also offered him respectful obeisances, thinking him to be his future father-in-law.
Continue.
When Satya, the daughter of King Nagnajit, understood that Krishna himself had come to marry her, she was very much pleased that the husband of the goddess of fortune had so kindly come there to accept her. She had cherished the idea of marrying Krishna for a long time and was following the principles of austerities in order to obtain her desired husband. She then began to think, if I have performed any pious activities to the best of my capacity, and if I have sincerely thought all along to have Krishna as my husband, then Krishna may be pleased to fulfill my long cherished desire. She began to offer prayers to Krishna, mentally thinking, I do not know how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased upon me. He is the master and the lord of everyone. Even the goddess of fortune, whose place is next to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, and many other demigods of different planets always offer their respectful obeisances unto the Lord. The Lord also sometimes descends on this earth in different incarnations in order to fulfill the desire of his devotees. He is so exalted and great that I do not know how to satisfy him. She thought that the Supreme Personality of Godhead could be pleased only out of his own causeless mercy upon the devotee. Otherwise, there was no other means to please him. Lord Chaitanya, in the same way, prayed in his Shishtaka verses, My Lord, I am your eternal servant. Somehow or the other, I have fallen into this material existence. If you kindly pick me up and fix me as an atom of dust at your lotus feet, it will be a great favor to your eternal servant. The Lord can be pleased only by a humble attitude in the service spirit. The more we render service unto the Lord under the direction of a spiritual master, the more we make advancement on the path of approaching the Lord. We cannot demand any grace or mercy from the Lord because of our service rendered to Him. He may accept or not accept our service, but the only means to satisfy the Lord is through the service attitude and nothing else.
Okay, that's very nice. Very, very beautiful. And this is the last. We cannot demand any grace. We cannot demand grace or mercy because of the service he rendered. He may accept or may not accept the service you're offering to him. But okay? And we should have a service attitude, nothing else. We make advancement more in the direction of the spiritual master. This all proper service attitude is what makes us a devotee. We cannot take for granted. We give a simple example. Suppose you can all hear me. Is the audio fine?
Yes,
Prabhuji.
See, today one issue is there that there was heavy, some short circuit and some things in my place have gone, including my modem. So I'm playing this through my mobile. Sometimes it works better than the modem. And sometimes there will be in case there is a disconnection, you continue reading from where you were and whatever. Okay, whichever whoever has the book Krishna, can you don't wait for me? I may come back within 1 or 2 minutes. Okay,
Hmm. Okay.
okay. So this is very nice. If you kindly pick me up. Anybody knows what is the Shishtastika verse? Shisha knows.
अयि
I
नन्दतनु गणीकरं पतिता मानुषमे भवामद कृपया तव पाद पंकज चितुदलिंदे.
okay, beautiful verse. I Nanda, my Lord, some I have fallen. Kindly pick me up and fix me as one of the atoms of your lotus feet. So this is a proper service attitude we need to develop. Okay. Yeah, Yuresh, you'd like to read sometime? Now from America we heard, let me hear from Australia.
Okay, Prabhuji. King Nagnajit was already a pious king, and having Krishna in his place, he began to worship him to the best of his knowledge and capacity. He presented himself before the Lord thus: My dear Lord, you are the proprietor of the whole cosmic manifestation, and you are Narayana, the rest of all living creatures. You are self sufficient and pleased with your personal opulences. So, how can I offer you anything? And how could I please you by such offering? It is not possible because I am an insignificant living being. Actually, I have no capacity to render any service unto you. Krishna is the super soul of all living creatures, so he could understand the mind of Satya, the daughter of King Nagnajit. He was also very much pleased with the respectful worship of the king in offering him a sitting place, eatables, residence, etc. He was appreciative, therefore, that both the girl and the father of the girl were anxious to have him as their intimate relative. He began to smile and in a great voice said, My dear King Nagnajit, you know very well that anyone in the princely order who is regular in his position will never ask anything from anyone, however exalted he may be. Such requests by a Kshatriya king from another person have been deliberately forbidden by the learned Vedic followers. If a Kshatriya breaks this regulation, his action is condemned by learned scholars. But in spite of this rigid regulative principle, I am asking you for the hand of your beautiful daughter just to establish our relationship in return for your great reception of me. You may also be pleased to be informed that in our family tradition, there is no scope for our offering anything in exchange for accepting your daughter. We cannot pay any price which you may impose for delivering her. In other words, Krishna wanted the hand of Satya from the king without fulfilling the condition of defeating the seven bulls. After hearing the statement of Lord Krishna, King Nagnajit said, My dear Lord, you are the reservoir of all pleasure, all opulences, and all qualities. The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi ji, always lives on your chest. Under these circumstances, who can be a better husband for my daughter? Both myself and my daughter have always prayed for this opportunity. You are the chief of the Yadu dynasty. You may kindly know that from the very beginning I have made a vow to marry my daughter to a suitable candidate, one who can come out victorious in the test I have devised. I have imposed this test just to understand the prowess and position of my intended son in law. You are Lord Krishna, and you are the chief of all heroes. I am sure you shall be able to bring these seven bulls under control without any difficulty. Until now, they may, they have never been subdued by any
Any prince.
prince. Anyone who has attempted to bring them under control has simply had his limbs broken. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Okay, so Krishna wanted to avoid. Oh, very difficult. Oh,
Anything.
try the seven bulls. He says, no, 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 you have to do it. Okay, then, chalo. And whoever
Yeah.
tried had their limbs broken till now. Okay.
King Nagnajit continued his request, Krishna, if you will kindly bridle the 7 bulls and bring them under control, then undoubtedly you will be selected as the desired husband of my daughter Satya. After hearing this statement, Krishna could understand that the king did not want to break his vow. Thus, in order to fulfill his desire, he tightened his belt and prepared to fight with the bulls. He immediately divided himself into 7 Krishnas, and each one of them immediately caught hold of a bull and bridled its nose, thus bringing it under control as if it were a plaything.
You saw the
This,
photo of this, no? Everybody.
mm,
In the today's class request I had put it. You want to see again? Just
yes,
let us
please. If
meditate so it will be correct. Two I found.
But how come all these people know about Lord Krishna as Madhava Prabhuji, the goddess of, I mean, husband of goddess of fortune? In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna ji only says that only Arjuna knows about himself everything.
Shisha, answer. Shisha. Yeah. Huh? His question is, how do they know who is Krishna? People know that time. Krishna's activities are a whole, India is hearing about Krishna's activities. He lifted a mountain. The kings are aware. Even his daughter was aware. Therefore, she was so happy Krishna has come. No, people are Krishna conscious.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Looks like it's disconnected.
Mm.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. We got to.
No, correct.
So, so everybody in India knows about Lord Krishna except Duryodhana, it seems, at that time.
No.
Except the
So, I mean, Duryodhana should have realized that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead as well. Then he
no,
wouldn't.
I don't think so. Everyone in India knows. So what I feel is that whoever Krishna came in contact with in this life, they were already in his troop, like from the heavens, who came with him. Like he never came in contact with anyone who was not in his group, or his crowd. I don't
Not
know.
Vaishnavas,
Yeah, when Krishna
non-devotees.
descended,
Okay.
everyone who was in contact or who came from the heavenly planets was there, and then probably they took birth in different Kshatriya families or Brahmana families or Vaishnava families and all. That's what I think, but I don't know.
Shisha.
Well said, Mata. Okay, that should be true.
Only devotees can know about Krishna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not the whole of world knew that it's him.
Yeah. To
Mm.
know
Okay,
So
his
Krishna is
point
these
is
were
very
that
all devotees
some
who
people
came
came
down
from the
with him.
spiritual world.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Some Okay, come down. Some opportunity to know about the session of these devotees, isn't it? Not get
Mm.
directly, you have to get it through devotees. है ना?
Yeah.
Say तुम्हारा कृष्णा जी ने पारो. So with association of devotees here and there, people have come to know and people are
Yeah.
getting benefited. But all these queens are from Lakshmi's Shisha, 16,108.
All are expansions of life. All are expansions of
All are
Lakshmi.
expanded.
Yeah.
Ordinary woman cannot get a chance association and training, है ना? You cannot
Yeah.
just by sentiment go. You have to be trained and you should be qualified. It is said that when you leave the body and if you're fit to go to Vaikuntha, you don't directly go to Vaikuntha. You go where Krishna Leela is going on.
Oh,
So
Marina.
maybe some are voice of Krishna consciousness get a chance to be Krishna's wife.
Yeah.
Because even to see the lotus feet of Krishna, yogis do tapasya for a long time. है ना?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What seeing the lotus and life, है ना? And I think it is a unlimited fortune for this woman, which cannot be so cheap, है ना? It requires
Yeah.
a lot of tapasya,
Austerity.
a lot of purification, a lot of prayers. And you see how nicely she is actually praying for Krishna to accept her. है ना? What do you say, Yuresh?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Analysis?
I think we should look at it in a spiritual way, not the materialistic way.
Yeah.
ठीक है.
It
They
looks
see what
very
happens.
material.
These queens have been planted here and there to join
Yeah,
in.
yeah. It's all in like a leela.
Yes,
Yeah,
Leela
it's
going on. Externally is looking like Krishna is going around collecting his 16,100 wives. Hey,
Yeah.
that is Lakshmis which have come for his pastime. Just like a Lord Chaitanya Leela also, if you see Nityananda Prabhu some other place, Advaitacharya some other place,
Some
all
other place.
True.
the Prabhupada says even about himself and his guru, he said by transcendental arrangement we came together. So Krishna's arrangement goes. Okay.
Should we think the same way about ourselves as well, Prabhuji? Whoever we meet in our lives are like a family or friends or
What do you want to
so.
say? Marriage is made in heaven, all that?
No, not just the marriage. Anybody you meet in your life, like in an intimate relationship, whether friendship or parents or kids. So all, whether there is any reason behind it, would you believe in it, Prabhuji?
Shisha, expert comments. See, suppose you had slapped somebody in your last life. So he will come to give you a slap this time. That kind of connection may be there. But we are more interested. See, suppose now we are discussing Krishna book together. And our
Yeah.
next life also, we will get a chance to continue that. You understand that?
Yeah,
Because
that's what I mean, Prabhuji.
spiritual relationship, Krishna does not break. Why break it? It's sweet. You know?
Yeah.
But material relationship, we keep breaking. You know? There's
Thank
no
you.
meaning. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't think some divinity is involved in the material relationships. You know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
purely based on the laws of karma.
Yes.
Karma and this one.
But
Yeah.
the spiritual relationships, now if we keep discussing, and I hope when you're leaving the body also we keep talking about Krishna book. I don't know. This book will take us so much time to read. When we finish Bhagavad Gita, then Krishna, then we may start after this.
Yeah.
Bhagavad.
Pura Brasa. Yeah. Pura Brasa.
Bhagavad. Huh? It will
Pura
take
Brasa. That in 6th chapter, that last, that before last.
everything will take time. Okay. What you're saying, pura abhyas hai na. Yes, Krishna says pura abhyas hai na. Okay. Chalo, we continue. Okay,
Yeah.
7 books. So I wanted to show you picture, but then my internet went off, so let me not take chance again.
Yeah, it's okay.
You have seen it. I have shared with you in your this thing. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you want just have a look at that picture privately, you can see. Okay. So now who was reading? Yuresh was reading. So Annapur,
Yeah.
you want to read for some time?
Yes, Prabhuji. Krishna dividing himself into seven is very significant. It was known to Satya, the daughter of King Nagnajit, that Krishna had already married many other wives, and still she was attached to Krishna. In order to encourage her, he immediately expanded himself into 7. The purport is that Krishna is one, but he has unlimited forms of expansion. He married many hundreds of thousands of wives, but this does not mean that while he was with one wife, the others were bereft of his association. Krishna could associate with each and every wife by his expansions. When Krishna brought the bulls under his control by burdening their noses, their strength and pride were immediately smashed. The name and fame which the bulls had attained was thus vanquished. When the bulls had been burdened by Krishna, he pulled them strongly just as a child pulls a toy wooden bull. Upon seeing this advantage of Krishna, King Nagnajit became very much astonished and immediately, with great pleasure, brought his daughter Satya before Krishna and handed her over to him. Krishna also immediately accepted Satya as his wife. Then there was a marriage ceremony with great pomp. The queens of Nagnajit also were very much pleased because their daughter Satya got Krishna as her husband. Since the king and the queens were very pleased on this auspicious occasion, there was a celebration all over the city in honor of the marriage. Everywhere was heard the sounds of the conch shell and the kettle drum and various other vibrations of music and song. The learned Brahmanas began to shower their blessings upon the newly married couple. In jubilation, all the inhabitants of the city dressed themselves with colorful garments and ornaments. King Nagnajit was so pleased that he began to give a dowry to the daughter and son-in-law as follows.
It's an unbelievable dowry. Chalo.
First of all, he gave them 10,000 cows and 3,000 well-dressed young maid servants, ornamented up to their necks.
Okay, now just slowly go. The dowry, 10,000 cows. That's okay. Even Lord Nanda Maharaj gave few lakh cows when Krishna was born. Yeah, 9 lakh cows. So okay, that's not a big deal. This is huge. 3,000 well-dressed maid servant. That was there also. Kings used
ornamented.
Maid servant. The friends of the girls, actually, taken of the queen. Okay,
Yes.
Ornamented to their necks. Yeah. Then next.
This system of dowry is still current in India, especially for Kshatriya princes.
I think this is probably talking 1970. Now it's over. Now nobody is like this.
Also, when the Kshatriya prince is married, at least a dozen maid servants of similar age are given along with the bride.
So he didn't get dozen, he got 3,000. Next.
After giving the cows and maid servants, the king also enriched the dowry by giving 9,000 elephants and 100 times more chariots than elephants.
My God. 9,000. The Dwarka has to be a big city to carry all this.
Very big, Prabhuji. If they give it now, it's going to be a burden. It's not a dowry.
Not a small island. Where you keep all the 3,000?
Yeah, that's right.
10,000 cows, 9,000 elephants. Now, how do you carry them? Chalo.
You have to carry it to Dwaraka now.
Yeah. So much opulence.
See, India was the richest country in the world. It is a superpower, so it's not surprising. See the opulence of the kings,
Yeah.
Even when Britishers came, India was still the richest country, even though it was plundered by Muslims so many times. So many times. Ghajini came how many times? And in camels, they loaded and ran away, Why they were interested? Like you see, the whole world today is interested in Syria. What their business? In Africa, so many countries are starving. They're not interested. Everybody's interested there because there is money there, some wealth, oil wealth, correct? Same way India was rich. Everybody's interested here. They were not going to some other parts of the world. Why are they coming here only? Then wanted to come here. Everybody wanted to come to this country. Make some small colony.
That Columbus wanted to come to India.
Columbus wanted
but he got lost and he found America.
Yeah, and that's where you went. Chalo. And then next.
This means he gave 900,000 chariots.
9 lakh chariots. And then next.
And then he gave 100 times more horses than chariots, or 90
million horses. 90 million horses.
9 million horses, yeah.
90 million.
90 million?
Yeah.
90 million horses and 100 times more slaves than horses.
No, 100 times 9 billion slaves.
That's too much.
Oh my God.
Today, that's not the population of Earth.
That's like a whole country.
Yeah.
Now, 90 million. 90 million into 10 is 900 million. Hey, Shisha, 9 billion. This is the
So what would
population
have,
of the world
yeah,
now.
what would have been a population by then?
Now, see, it's a different time. It's 5,000 years ago. You can't just know what's happening. So, see, there is
Okay.
one more reason why Krishna had come was to reduce the population of Earth. So, you see, imagine how much population was there. In the Mahabharata war, when one of the reasons Krishna organized that war, the crores of people, were unwanted. They were all crazy and very, very, demonic kings and their soldiers. So Krishna wanted to reduce the burden on earth. You have seen Shisha Prabhupada says he wanted to reduce the unwanted population, correct? One of the reasons of the war is to reduce. Now look at the kind of population, 9 billion people in one part of India. What they will be doing? Huh, Shisha? Huh?
Yeah.
So Krishna wanted to do that war to reduce the population. Too much population, this is. How many times they say no that a population is increasing? What population? This king is 9 billion. Proper jokes, no? Who produces 1,000 children? Dhritarashtra produces 1,000 children. People don't even produce one nowadays. Hannah?
Hmm.
Suresh?
Yeah, but very difficult
Yeah,
domain.
if they have one or
Small,
two, they said it's more than
5 cents.
enough.
No, in the agriculture society, what happens, more the merrier, because they become free labor for you. And you don't have to educate them in agriculture society. But when you are in city-based and you have education, which is so expensive, correct? In engineering, India costs something like Shisha 10 lakhs and medicine costs 50 lakhs, isn't it? That's just a
Yeah,
graduation. And
yeah,
no
yeah.
Yeah, but
parent can think of
And
having
not
more.
not only that, Prabhuji, and the values that as parents they should have, and also the patience, they're all
Now that they have
deteriorating.
forgotten values,
Yeah,
but the thing
yeah.
about accounts, yeah, that is more important reason. Can they train their children to do values? But many parents don't have values. Okay, so I was just focusing on the economic part that the
Mm,
people get frightened with the expense that will come, and the women want to work. So they
yes.
want to work means
And,
they can't
and
have more children, otherwise they'll be at home only.
yeah.
So this was the population is actually less today. And this looks to be a huge population. But Prabhupada says sometimes in Purana such kind of figures are there. Okay? Continue.
Okay. Um, and such slaves and maid servants were maintained by the royal princesses with all provisions as if they were their own children or family members. After giving this dowry as described, the king of the Koshala province bade his daughter and great son in law be seated on a chariot. He allowed them to go to their home guarded by a division of well equipped soldiers. When they were traveling fast to their new home, his heart became enlivened with affection for them.
He still had something after giving this. I'm wondering. Huh?
Of
Whenever
course.
you give 10% of your wealth. You don't give 99% of your wealth. Huh? His sons will object, Papa, what is remaining now in this kingdom? We give everything to your daughter. Continue before.
before
Uh,
marriage.
Continue, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Before this marriage of Satya with Krishna, there had been many competitive engagements with the bull of King Nagnajit, and many other princes of the Yadu dynasty and of other dynasties as well had tried to win the hand of Satya. When the frustrated princes of other dynasties heard that Krishna was successful in getting the hand of Satya by subduing the bulls, naturally they became envious. While Krishna was traveling to Dwarka, all the frustrated and defeated princes encircled him and began to shower their arrows on the bridal party. When they attacked Krishna's party and threw arrows like incessant torrents of rain, Arjuna, the best friend of Krishna, took charge of the challenge, and he alone drove them off very easily to please his great friend Krishna on the occasion of his marriage. He immediately took up his bow of the name Gandiv, and chased away all the princes exactly as a lion drives away all other small animals by simply chasing them. Arjuna drove away all the princesses without killing even one of them. After this, the chief of the Yadu dynasty, Lord Krishna, along with his newly married wife and a huge dowry, entered the city of Dwarka with great
Oh,
pomp.
definitely a very huge dowry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dwarka, Krishna then lived there with his wife.
Very.
very peacefully.
Yeah, that's
Wish.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue. Who wants to read? Yuresh, you want to continue sometime?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So when Lord Krishna himself takes dowry, why people say dowry is a criminal thing in these days, Prabhuji?
Because
Do you
they
have any
commit
idea?
crime in the name of dowry. That's why.
This is given voluntarily, no, not forced.
Yeah, not forced.
That's a demand. And this
That's
here
the
they are demanding dowry.
yes.
They are giving it.
But I think another thing is that the daughter were not inheriting anything from the father.
Well,
Correct?
yeah,
Mm.
Today
once
they want dowry also.
this one is once
Today they want
out
dowry
of the
also, and inheritance also equal, right? No, double.
yeah.
Mm.
But boys are
Mm.
in trouble. Because tradition is there. When girl goes, father will give with whole heart as much as possible. Correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was not forced. He has voluntarily given, so no
Voluntarily.
problem. Happily, he is giving. The heart melts when the daughter goes to another house. He wants her to be comfortable. With
Mhm.
love, he is giving to his daughter. Now, when something
Like,
is given with love, how we can stop you, Resh?
I'm just asking. I'm just curious to know. That's all. So our Puranas and Shastras are saying so many stories like this, and that's why people got used to this system of
Yeah,
dowry.
they want this kind of dowry. Somebody asked,
Mm.
father can
Uh,
give.
mm. Because
Even
I mean,
1% of this he cannot give. Huh?
yeah, in Western world, I don't think there is a system called dowry, but only I think in our tradition.
No, everywhere there was.
Is it Mataji? In America, there is.
Not now, but before. In
Oh,
this
okay.
times, they everywhere there used to be. Even if you go to England, they used to have maid servants and slaves and everything, and soldiers.
Mm.
So they used to
Oh,
give.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, if I ask anybody here, they feel like it's a strange thing, and so they don't even know what is dowry is.
They
So,
don't know because, but in like England is very ancient. America is just new. It's like in 1700s.
mm,
But before, even if you see in the tribes also, they do all that, right? But in
okay.
England also they used to do like if the two lands there was arranged marriage, right? Just for the
Mm-hmm.
land protection of the land and everything, and they used to give.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Chalo. So
Krishna had another aunt, his father's sister, whose name was Shrutakirti, and who was married and lived in the Kekaya province. She had a daughter whose name was Bhadra. Bhadra also wanted to marry Krishna, and her brother handed her over to him unconditionally. Krishna also accepted her as his bona fide wife. Thereafter, Krishna married a daughter of the king of the Madras province, and her name was Lakshmana. Lakshmana had all good qualities. She was also forcibly married by Krishna, who took her in the same way that Garuda snatched the jar of nectar from the hands of the demons. Krishna kidnapped this girl in the presence of many other princes in the assembly of her Swayamvara. Swayamvara is a ceremony in which the bride can select her own husband from an assembly of many princes.
okay, now just count the five girls. This is Lakshmana, and then
Bhadra,
Bhadra, and then two, and then before that, the
Satya,
Nagnajiti. What is the name? Her name? Nagnajiti.
Satya,
Satya Nagnajiti.
Yeah. And then before that,
Kalindi,
Kalindi. Ka-
Kalindi.
Kalindi,
Kalindi,
Jambavati,
Satyabama,
Satyabhama,
Satya.
Satyabhama, Jambavati, and Rukmani.
Rukmini.
Rukmini.
Nee, in this chapter, what are the five in this chapter?
Kalindi,
Ah.
Satya,
Hmm.
Bhadra, Lakshmana.
One more, one we missed.
Bhadra.
So this is
I think
Bhadra, who understood. Okay. Satya, okay. And Kalindi. It is only four.
it'll come ahead, Prabhuji. I don't know. Maybe.
Now he says five. Lakshmana, Bhadra.
I
Bhadra
think
and
there will be
Lakshmana.
Kalindi.
one more coming.
No, Bhadra and Lakshmana. Looks like it's over. Bhadra, we missed something.
Bhadra.
Bhadra and Lakshmana is two.
Satya.
daughters of same king. Bhadra, Lakshmana, Satya.
Bhadra, Lakshmana,
Three.
Satya.
Satya war. Satya or Nagnajiti, other three.
And after
And
that,
then that
Kalindi. Only four.
Kalindi, four.
Where is fifth one?
And then Satyabhama,
Oh no,
Jambavati.
that's still seven.
Sorry,
were-
Mitravinda Prabhuji. Mitravinda.
Mitra is there.
Mitravinda.
How you missed
Yeah.
it? Where is
Mitra.
it?
There's only one parent.
Sister of Duryodhana.
Bhadra, where is
Yeah.
Mitravinda?
Before.
Yeah, this before that.
This is the one. Ujjain. Okay. And what are the different places? Now, this is near Khandiva forest. This is Krishna has come to meet Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira will be near Delhi, correct? They are near Yudhishthira, Indraprastha maybe. Indraprastha was the city built up, no? Indraprastha is how far from Delhi? Somewhere in UP that place come, no? Indraprastha. Okay? Yeah. And that is one. And then the second place Krishna has gone is from Indraprastha, I got this. And then second one,
Koshala.
this is Ujjain, he got this one.
Ayodhya.
Mitravinda is from Ujjain, the sister of two who were under Mitravinda. Then king of Koshala, this is Koshala, he has come, Nagnajit. Okay. And then that is Satya. So, chalo, forget the places. It's becoming confusing. The names you remember. One is Kalindi, Mitravinda, and then Satya, and then after that, at the end, two more.
Bhadra.
Bhadra and
Lakshmana.
Bhadra and Lakshmana. Ho gaya na, 5. Great.
8. This.
So 5, 3 were in the previous chapter. What are the 3 in the previous chapter, Yuresh?
Satyabhama, Jambavati,
Rukmini.
and Rukmini.
Almost all he has kidnapped. Who he didn't kidnap?
Satya.
Satya, he had to do the Swayamvara, and one more, no?
Kalindi
Happily
also
handed
did not
over.
kidnap.
Bhadra.
Yeah, seven bulls were defeated by.
Lakshmana, he had to fight again. Bhadra, he got without any effort, Hana? And Kalindi also came to him willfully, Hana?
Yeah.
And Rukmini, he had to pick up. He had to fight. Satyabhama and they came in different situations. Okay. Chalo. The queens, and Krishna's Leela is always some excitement. Krishna Leela is not like Narayana Arati is going on, and Lakshmis come one by one and fall at his feet. Not like that. Krishna likes some dynamics. Here he goes. Isn't it? The Leela is full of,
varieties.
Energy. Huh?
Varieties.
A lot of variety, lot of and excitement. And Arjuna is protected. Wife Arjuna protected. Satya. Correct? When they were coming back to Dwarka with the huge dowry, a lot of people attacked on the way.
Attacked.
Arjuna protected the whole thing. Okay. Chalo. The discussion. Who want to read the last portion?
I'll read, Prabhuji. The description of Krishna's marriage with the 5 girls mentioned in this chapter is not sufficient. He had many other thousands of wives.
You can hear me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Can hear, yeah. Yeah, continue.
The description of Krishna's marriage with the five girls mentioned in this chapter is not sufficient. He had many other thousands of wives besides them. The other thousands of wives were accepted by Krishna after killing one demon named Bhaumasara. All these thousands of girls were held captive in the palace of Bhaumasara, and Krishna released them and married them.
Yeah.
Thus ends
That's
the Bhaktivedanta purport of the second volume, third chapter of Krishna, five queens married by Krishna.
okay. So we go to the next chapter. I count how many pages are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 17 to finish in half an hour this chapter. It takes 2 minutes. Napo Mataji?
Yeah, I'm okay, Prabhuji.
Hello,
I'm
start.
with you.
Bhaumasara. Shisha, we do this
Yeah,
chapter?
yeah, yeah.
Hello.
Chapter 4, Deliverance of the Demon Bhaumasura. The story of Bhaumasura, how he kidnapped and made captive 16,000 princesses by collecting them from palaces of various kings, and how he was killed by Krishna, the Supreme Lord, of wonderful character, is all described by Shukadeva Goswami to King Parikshit in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Generally, the demons are always against the demigods. This demon Bhaumasura, having become very powerful, took by force the umbrella from the throne of demigod Varuna. He also took the earrings of Aditi, the mother of demigods. He conquered a portion of heavenly Mount Meru and occupied the portion which was known as Mani Parvat. The king of the heavenly planets Indra therefore came to Dwarka to complain about Bhaumasura before Lord Krishna. Hearing this complaint by Indra, the king of heaven, Lord Krishna, accompanied by his wife Satyabhama, immediately started for the abode of Bhaumasura. Both of them rode on the back of Garuda, who flew them to Pragjyotisyapura, the capital city of Bhaumasura. It was not very easy task to enter into the city of Pragjyotishpura because it was very well fortified. First of all, there were four formidable forts guarding the four directions of the city, and it was well protected on all sides by formidable military strength. The next boundary was a water canal all around the city, and in addition, the whole city was surrounded with electric wires. The next fortification was of anila, a gaseous substance. After this, there was a network of barbed wiring constructed by a demon of the name Mura. It appeared that the city was well protected even in terms of today's scientific advancements.
Now let us see the protection. Okay, not
Electricity.
easy. First of all, there are forts guarding the four direction. Okay. Then was water canal all around the city, so you have to cross water. Electric wires were there. Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But they said that Dwapara Yuga is a yuga of energy, right? So there were a lot of so it's no surprise that electricity was already found in that yuga.
See, anything was there at that time. We are just using a corresponding term. But I do not think they will be doing Ugra Karma. The way things are done today, that's Ugra Karma. That's my take. They will not be building this huge, dams and waterfalls and all that. They do it in a very more advanced way. So that doesn't, just like the weapons of Arjuna, you don't need factory to make those weapons. They were all made in very advanced technology.
Yeah.
Like Sanjaya's telecasted without using a TV, using more advanced technology of the mind. So this may be some kind of a siddhi which was used. Shisha, what do you say? Some kind of electric shock you're getting, but not kind of creating kind of big wire connections and poles going from one end to another end. Some kind of maybe magnets were there at that time. using some magnet or something, they created an electric. What do you say, Yuresh, as an engineer?
Nothing
Because
to
we
do
don't
with the
see history in the
engineering,
Vedic time.
Prabhuji, but
Huh?
how come all these generations, right from I don't know, 0 to 1500 or 1800 years, we couldn't get any ideas to make electricity, and all of a sudden we are now listening to these stories and we think that whatever.
But they had advanced technology at that time, and then I guess
No,
Prabhuji,
when
looks like
Kali
you are straight from Dwapar Yuga.
no, and then when Kali Yuga set in, that's when everything was destroyed, and now we're
And
starting
now,
again to
yeah,
discover.
no.
That's what happened.
What I wanted to say was,
rediscovering.
huh, what I wanted to
Yeah,
say that they had advanced subtle technology, not gross. Gross
yeah,
is Shudra, that is Kali Yuga. They were not
uh,
going to do dhar
yeah,
dhar dhar in an industry.
yeah,
They were not going to do that. It was made in a more advanced way. What I can just easily guess is that magnets were around that time. Correct? Because there are Shastra has an example, just like iron is attracted to magnet. Prahlad Maharaj says, "My heart is attracted to Krishna." Okay? So using magnet or something in a very simple way, this was created. They will not go into a very cumbersome way. They will
yeah,
because their people are more not so Shudra like today. They will work
yeah,
20 hours to make
yeah.
some things. Or another thing, maybe this fellow is a demonic fellow. He may get this vidya from this Maya Dhanava, other jokers below, from lower planets. What is a Shisha?
Yeah. Yeah, but that is from this is something. Yeah.
Maya Dana may be knowing all electricity work and all. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is Maya Dano, Prabhuji?
So see, just like there are devatas are above, below us. See, hell is sometimes misunderstood with lower planet. Hell is not lower planet. Lower planets are
Mm.
very powerful people, and they fight with the devatas. There is Star Wars going on. You understand? That's why we read, no, that the king we discussed, he helped the devatas in fighting. Correct? Are the king who
Yeah.
burned, what is the name? Muchukukunda.
Mm.
Muchukundu.
Which one? Yeah.
Famous English, that he was
Yeah,
tired
yeah.
of fighting the way
Yes,
for
yes.
with whom I was fighting, not earthly king. Earthly kings are tiny. So above earth and below earth are very powerful people actually.
Mm.
Okay. So below in that, just like we know about Vishwakarma and all above, below was Mayadana. We just read, no, he made the city for Arjuna and the
Mm.
Yeah.
Khandiva forest, Agni. You remember, Yuresh?
Which one, Prabhuji?
We previous chapter read, no, Agni wanted to devour the Khandiva forest.
Can't forest
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
then
At that time, Mayadana was saved by Arjuna. And he built a beautiful assembly house where Duryodhana slipped, thinking it to be water, correct? The land.
Mm.
So there are
Oh.
these Danavs are below earth and they are very
second.
powerful. So maybe he
So
got
he,
all this technology. From where he got this technology? Because in earth, this technology doesn't exist, say, just recently. You are correct, Yuresh. So it was not here, it was below. Just like the weapons Arjuna used, the technology is not on earth, it came from
mm.
heaven. The Devatas had
Mm.
those kind of weaponry, correct?
Yeah.
Mm.
Special
Second.
missiles the Devatas gave Arjuna, but not, those weapons don't require, they can be just be invoked by mantras. So it doesn't require, some heavy machinery. Just like India wants somewhat missile from Russia, SR something. What is a famous thing? I don't know. SR 400, some S-400. So it was huge machinery.
Mm.
But the Devatas are not giving. When Arjuna, he was given by Agni weapons. It's not that he brought a truckload. No, it's just
Mm.
by mantras. He gave him
Yeah.
a special vehicle, correct, and
Mm.
special horses. All that produced by mantras. It's a higher technology, siddhis. So lower the Danavas also have some siddhis, and the Devatas also have siddhis, and that's why they fight. When Krishna was in the childhood, how many people came with all the siddhis, no? They took the form of Aghasura, Bakasura, all those things. There are also siddhis. What do you say, Shisha?
Mm.
What do you say, Yuresh? Okay. Okay, so next boundary wall was a water canal all around the city. Okay. That is
Sorry, Prabhuji. Is this Mount Meru is also in another world?
Mount Meru is
I
not.
heard of Mount Meru. It's
Now, Mount
is it?
Meru is in the center of the universe. Anna, Shisha?
Universe. That's and that's the center of the universe. That Bharatvarsh is the south of that Mount Meru. That's an imagine.
Shisha can see Shisha, you can see south of Meru. Can you see the mountain? That is Vedic cosmology, Yuresh.
Okay.
Let them finish the temple, then we will go to see where is Meru.
That on the top of that, this one, they were all residing. All, yeah, like it's like a chandelier. All this planetary system is like hanging like a chandelier throughout that. Yeah.
So
From
Mount
that
Meru doesn't exist in this planet. That's
Yeah,
for
not.
sure, isn't it?
Okay, so anyway, there was city surrounded of electric wires next. And the next fortification was Anila, gaseous substance. Just like in England, there was a big tamasha. We don't have today from England or Manoj or somebody. There was big tamasha now in England. There's somebody had died because of poisoning from Russian agents, they say, isn't it?
Hmm.
They think they're very expert in discovering what they say, chemical warfare. So he had already chemical warfare. Anila. And you have to find out what is the chemical constitution of Anila, gaseous substance. After there was the barbed wiring constructed by a demon that we do today. Barbed wiring is there. A city is well protected in terms of even modern scientific advancement. Okay, we are impressed. Just like the dowry, we are impressed. We are interested with this also. Yeah, continue.
After this, there was a network of barbed wiring constructed by a demon of the name Mura. It happened that the city was well protected even in terms of today's scientific advancements. When Krishna arrived, he broke all the forts to pieces by strokes of his club, and the military strength scattered here and there by the constant onslaught of the arrows of Krishna. With his celebrated Sudarshana Chakra, he counteracted the electrified boundary. The channels of water and the gaseous boundary were made null and void, and he cut to pieces the electrified network fabricated by the demon Mura.
See, here
By
it is
the
Divan Mura. This Divan Mura must be some Maya Danav's product, correct?
So is that why Lord Krishna is called as Murari?
Network, some kind of a siddhi, some kind of
yeah.
a Danava thing, है ना? I think modern technology is more borrowed from lower planets than higher planets. What's the Shisha?
Maybe Prabhuji. That's why you got a short circuit today.
Huh?
Maybe that's why you got a short circuit today.
Yeah. Danavas do all these things. Yeah. Chalo, continue.
By the vibration of his conch shell, he not only broke the hearts of great fighters but also fighting machines which were there. Similarly, the walls around the city were broken by his invincible club. The vibration of his conch shell sounded like the thunderbolt at the time of the dissolution of the whole cosmic situation. The demon Mura heard the vibration of the conch shell, awakened from his sleep, and personally came out to see what had happened. He had 5 heads and had long been living within the water.
This is some siddhi. How can somebody live inside water? He's a big demon, I think, from lower planet, Shisha.
Yeah.
And he brought this Vidya of electric wires. All this thing has come from lower planets.
This too. Yeah, Pragjyotisha.
Asuri Vidya. Then
Next page, Prabhuji. The Mura demon was as brilliant as the sun at the time of the dissolution of cosmic manifestation, and his temper was like blazing fire. The effulgence of his body was so dazzling that it was difficult to see him with open eyes. When he came out, he first of all took out his trident and began to rush the supreme personality of Godhead. The onslaught of the demon Mura was like a big snake attacking Garuda. His angry mood was very severe, and he appeared ready to devour the 3 worlds. First of all, he attacked the carrier of Krishna Garuda. By whirling his trident, he began to vibrate sounds through his 5 faces like the roaring of a lion. The roaring produced by the vibrations of his mouth spread all over the atmosphere until it extended not only all over the world but also into outer space, up and down, and out to the 10 directions. In this way, the sound was rumbling throughout the whole universe. Lord, Lord
Yeah.
Krishna saw, yeah. Lord Krishna saw that the trident of the Mura demon was gradually rushing towards his carrier, Garuda. Immediately, by a trick of his hand, he took 2 arrows and threw them toward the trident, cutting it into pieces. Simultaneously, using many arrows, he pierced the mouths of the demon Mura. When he saw himself out outmaneuvered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Mura demon immediately began to strike him in great anger with his club. But Lord Krishna, with his own club, broke the club of Mura to pieces before it could reach him. The demon, barefoot of his weapon, decided to attack Krishna with his strong arms. But by the aid of his Sudarshana Chakra, Krishna immediately separated the demon's 5 heads from his body. The demon then fell into the water, just as the peak of a mountain falls into the ocean after being struck by the thunderbolt of Indra. This demon Mura had 7 sons named Tamra, Antariksha, Shravana, Vibhavashu, Vasu, Nabhsvan, and Aruna.
See,
All of
Shisha,
them,
this demon mean they come
Nice
from lower
names.
planets, no? Ah,
Yeah,
Shisha.
but
He has come from lower planets, I think, है ना? With his family.
In the
Immigration
lower
department.
places.
Huh?
Yeah,
Immigration department. Huh? He has come from lower
yeah,
planets.
still he has got good names for
yeah,
his sons,
those
Prabhu.
are also yeah, there in the
Chalo. Hare Krishna. Yeah,
yes,
continue.
Prabhu. Yeah, all of them became puffed up and vengeful because of the death of their father, and in order to retaliate, they prepared in great anger to fight with Krishna. They equipped themselves with necessary weapons and situated Pitha, another demon, to act as commander in the battle. By the order of Bhaumasura, all of them combinedly attacked Krishna. When they came before Lord Krishna, they began to shower him with many kinds of weapons, like swords, clubs, lances, arrows, and tridents. But they did not know the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unlimited and invincible. Krishna, with his arrows, cut all the weapons of men of Bhaumasura into pieces, like grains. Krishna then threw his weapons, and Bhaumasura, commander in chief, Pitha, along with his assistants, fell down, their military dress cut off, and their heads, legs, and arms and thighs severed. All of them were sent to the superintendent of death, Yamraj.
Correct. Chalo, next. So what has
Okay.
happened to the 7 sons? All were killed. They killed
everybody.
by the other, all of them attacked Krishna. I think for Krishna they were going to swap, but they did not know the strength. Unlimited, Krishna cut all the weapons, Mohammasura. Okay, it's all is general. Is it okay? And then what happens? Dress all their hand, legs, everything is finished. Okay. Okay, chalo, next, Mohammasura.
Bhaumasura was also known as Narakasura, for he happened to be the son of the earth personified. When he saw that all his soldiers, commanders, and fighters were killed on the battlefield by the strokes of the weapons of the personality of Godhead, he became exceedingly angry at the Lord. He then came out of the city with a great number of elephants who had all been born and brought up on the seashore. All of them were highly intoxicated. When they came out, they saw that Lord Krishna and his wife were beautifully situated high in outer space, just like a blackish cloud about the sun, glittering with the light of electricity. The demon Bhaumasura immediately released a weapon called Satagnu, by which he could kill hundreds of warriors with one stroke. And simultaneously, all his assistants also threw their respective weapons at the Supreme
Supreme.
Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, began to counteract all these weapons by releasing his feathered arrows.
Continue.
Continue. The result of this fight was that all the soldiers and commanders of Bhamasura fell to the ground, their arms, legs, and heads separated from their trunks, and all their horses and elephants also fell with them. In this way, all the weapons released by Bhamasura were cut into pieces by reaction of the Lord's arrows. The Lord was fighting on the back of Garuda, and Garuda was also helping the Lord by striking the horses and elephants with his wings and scratching their heads with his nails and sharpened beak. The elephants were feeling much pain by Garuda's attack on them, and they were all dispersing from the battlefield. Bhaumasura alone remained on the battlefield, and he engaged himself in fighting with Krishna. He saw that Krishna's career Garuda was causing great disturbance to his soldiers and elephants, and in great anger he struck Garuda with all his strength, which defied the strength of a thunderbolt. Fortunately, Garuda was not an ordinary bird. and he felt the strokes given by Bhaumasura just as a great elephant feels the impact of a garland of flowers.
Mhm.
Bhaumasura thus came to see that none of his tricks would act upon Krishna, and he became aware that all his attempts to kill Krishna would be frustrated. Yet he attempted for the last time, taking a trident in his hands to strike him. Krishna was so dexterous that before Bhaumasura could touch his trident, his head was cut off by the sharp Sudarshana chakra. His head, illuminated by earrings and helmets, fell down on the battlefield. On the occasion of Bhaumasura's being killed by Lord Krishna, all the demons' relatives began to scream in disappointment, and the saintly persons began to glorify the chivalrous activities of the Lord. Taking this opportunity, the denizens of the heavenly planets began to shower flowers on the Lord. At this time, the earth personified appeared before Lord Krishna and greeted him with a garland of Vaijanti jewels. She also returned the dazzling ears of Aditi, bedecked with jewels and gold. She also returned the umbrella of Varuna along with another valuable jewel which she presented to Krishna. After this, the earth personified began to offer her prayers to Krishna, the Supreme Personality and the Master of the world, who is always worshipped by exalted demigods. She fell down in obeisances and in great devotional ecstasy began to speak.
Now,
Let
at
me
this
offer
point,
my.
one question. Why Satyabhama came to the war? Anybody knows? You don't. Krishna has never gone to war with any one of his queens. Why he came now with a wife? Yuresh, you know that? Shisha knows, I think.
No, I think it's Krishna's Leela as well.
No, no, no. There is a reason. Shisha, you know that?
Which one, Prabhu?
Why Satyabhama came to the battlefield?
Yeah, Bhaumasura has got that one boon. He cannot be killed by any. He need be fought with simultaneously fought with
What is that?
Krishna should be fought with this one. Uh, what I mean is
As
together.
far as I know, in other
Yeah,
Puranas, it is Satyabhama
yeah,
who has killed him.
yeah. Satyabhama as well.
Yeah, but
Oh,
here Bhagavatam doesn't go to the detail.
Yeah,
Krishna killed him. But if you go more detail inside, Krishna was fighting with him. That Satyabhama, he had a boon. He cannot be killed by anything except, I think, something which is incarnation of Satyabhama. Correct?
oh.
What is it, Isha?
he had a boon.
Ah, what is the boon? Somebody Google it out, Yuresh.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, now or maybe next time. There is a
Yeah.
boon he had. Okay? And that's why the
Yeah.
Satyabhama had come, and actually Satyabhama kills him. Correct? Otherwise, this is extraordinary. Why Krishna will trouble and bring his queen to the battlefield? Hai na?
Hmm.
Yeah.
It looks like a pleasure pastime. The Lord is going to battlefield with one queen on the Garuda. Come,
But I think
just
Yeah.
watch the fun. Huh?
Satyabhama killed Narakasura, isn't it, Prabhuji?
He's the same. Narkasura was Bhamasura. You saw
Same,
that.
same, same. Bhaumasura and
Oh,
Same,
Narkasura.
same.
okay.
Ah, that's the same. Narkasura is Bhaumasura, same. Naraka
Okay.
Chaturdashi is same. Okay? So there is some pastime. Who anybody Shisha knows exactly? There is the detail. Okay, next time. Get us next time. Okay, let us continue. No,
Yeah.
continue. Let me offer.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Lord, who is always present with four kinds of symbols, namely his conch shell, disc, lotus, and club, and who is the Lord of all demigods. Please accept my respectful obeisances unto you. My dear Lord, you are the super soul, and in order to satisfy the aspiration of your devotees, you descend on the earth in your various transcendental incarnations, which are just appropriate to the devotee's worshipful desire. Kindly accept my respectful obeisances. My dear Lord, the lotus flower is grown out of your navel, and you are always decorated with a garland of lotus flowers. Your eyes are always spread like the petals of the lotus flower, and therefore they are all pleasing to the eyes of others. Your lotus feet are so soft and delicate that they are always worshipped by your unalloyed devotees, and they pacify their lotus like hearts. I therefore repeatedly offer my respectful obeisances unto you. You possess all kinds of religion, fame, property, knowledge, and renunciation. You are the shelter of all five opulences. Although you are all pervading, you have nevertheless appeared as the son of Vasudev. Please therefore accept my respectful obeisances. You are the original supreme personality of Godhead and the supreme cause of all causes. Only your lordship is the reservoir of all knowledge. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Personally, you are unborn. Still, you are the father of the whole cosmic manifestation. You are the reservoir and shelter of all kinds of energies. The manifestive appearance of this world is caused by you, and you are both the cause and effect of this cosmic manifestation. Please, therefore, accept my respectful obeisances.
Now,
My
let us just wait before we have reached our boundary. 10:30.
Prabhuji, I found the reason if you want me to share.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think Narakasura got a boon from Brahma, Lord Brahma, that he would die only in the hands of his mother.
Oh,
And
and
also,
Bhudevi, the
and all,
incarnation of Satyabhama.
yeah.
mm,
And his mother also had a boon that no, only when she wished to, her son, when she wished to die, then only he will die.
Mm-hmm.
So it's between mother and son relation as well. So maybe that's why that Bhumi Devi
and he
or
was the son of
Satyabhama,
Earth.
yeah, son of it.
He's an earth. So he's son of Krishna?
No, no, no. He's son of the Earth.
Now,
Yeah,
that
Bhumi
Bhudevi,
Devi
that
is,
Bhauma,
yeah,
that came, that Bhaumastra. That Bhauma is Bhumi, that Bhumi, Bhaumastra, that son of.
But Bhumi's husband is Krishna, no?
yeah,
That
I
is in
think
Satya.
there must be another story behind it.
Krishna's son who became rogue.
Bhuma
Check out, check out. I just check Yuresh this also.
is Vara.
Narakasura is, I think, son of Krishna. Through Bhudevi. Because Bhudevi is also a Shri Neela Bhu energy of the Lord. Correct, Shisha?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
Bhudevi's husband is Krishna only, no?
yeah, Varaha,
Yes,
Varaha.
Prabhu.
Therefore he came as, no, therefore she came as we read, no, Kubja that day.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
could, yeah, go, yeah. That's right.
Just check out. Anybody got? Narakasura is the son of Krishna, I think.
Yeah,
And one example where the son becomes spoiled, Narakasura's name is taken. Look at it, God's son, and he became so spoiled, and God has to kill him. Anyway, we are all sons of Krishna and we become crazy. All of us are sons of Krishna only.
all the
So no,
living entities are sons of Krishna.
Huh?
All the living entities are sons of Krishna only.
And when we become rogue, he can also become rogue.
Krishna Bhairmukha na Bhagavan Jagare.
You got Yuresh? Narakasura is son of Krishna, I think.
Yeah, father is Varaha. It's written as Varaha, Prabhuji.
Varaha.
Yeah.
Vara only.
Yeah,
Bhudevi and Varaha.
Varaha,
Okay.
yeah.
That is Krishna.
Yeah.
There is
There is
Krishna's son
Krishna.
only, who
Yeah,
became
yeah.
spoiled, so spoiled that he did all this capture 16,000 queens and all. He had a lot of powers being Krishna's son, correct?
Mm.
You can totally spoiled with bad association. And he had all these demons friends, Mora demon, this demon of lower planets, है ना?
Yeah.
Powerful. Okay. So I think we stop here. What do you feel? In India, it's 10:50. See the tomorrow Mangalarti goes otherwise. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And anyway, now a lot of prayers are there. And then after that, the Queens will be assured. And then, okay, and he entered. Bhagadatta. Oh, the son. She brought the son. This boy named Bhagata, son of my son Bhaumasura. Take a ghastly situation. I therefore surrender unto you. Bless him. Pray immediately say, don't be afraid. Okay. And then the 16,100 queens are there, and Krishna accepted them. And then after that, the Parijata instance of the Devatas.
No, no.
And then, yes. So this will take us some time next time. Okay? So we will
Yeah.
start with the prayers of the Bhudevi. Okay? Our personified came from Krishna. She is Krishna's wife only. Hai na?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, yeah, Varaha.
Garland. Yeah. Only wife puts a garland. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He puts a garland of
Yeah.
it. see. Anyway, she is Varaha's wife, means Krishna's wife. What do you say, Yuresh? Lakshmi, no? She's a
Yes,
Hana?
Prabhuji. Yeah, yeah.
Therefore, the
Same
Shri
with him.
Krishna worship Neela and Bhu energy of the Lord, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how
Narayan.
our Kubja has come, Hana?
Yeah.
And we have seen so many stories of these asuras getting boons from either Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, and they
Yeah,
get killed by Lord Krishna.
correct.
Yeah.
So here also he got
Antavanta.
from Brahma, no? Narkasura?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lord Brahma.
Yeah.
Correct.
So looks like asuras they never go to Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu to get any boons.
Even though
Antavanta
Krishna
Palam
is their father. Even though Krishna is their father, they don't go. Right?
Yeah, bro.
Because Krishna
Antavanta
will
Palam
not be that stupid to that. Had he gone to Krishna and said, give me some power, I want 16,000, kidnap 16,000 girls, Krishna would have killed him at that moment. Huh?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Huh?
But Krishna, being a super soul in every heart, so Krishna knows what's happening, so he could have prevented before all this
No, see,
happens.
Krishna's work is saved. No, this fellow, Krishna's son, ran around and collected wives for Krishna. Krishna didn't have to run around. 8 wives Krishna had to do. This fellow did all the hard work. Isn't it? He can attack.
Yeah.
Each kingdom he has stolen one by one, and collected 16,108. And all were Lakshmis, not ordinary. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All were Lakshmis. Now Krishna doesn't marry ordinary. They're all Lakshmis, super excellent. So that's he did maybe agyat. He has not consciously done, unconsciously has done. है ना? Like we see the incident of Bhishma, he gets a girl to marry for his father. है ना?
Yeah.
What is the name of his father?
Santana.
Shantanu. So same way, he is also collected girls for marriage of his father.
So many interesting stories, Prabhuji.
Yeah, the Prabhupada says sometimes if you are in a material consciousness, we will be difficult to understand Krishna Leela, है ना? Why
Yeah.
Krishna wants to marry so many women, but it's actually Atmarama. Krishna is fully satisfied, and the transcendental pleasure, है ना? And all the queens will beg Krishna to be married. It's not that Krishna forcefully marrying them. The 16,100 will beg now, Krishna, please become our husband, and Krishna will accept their hand. Okay. Yuresh, we'll discuss this next time.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji.
Nupur Mataji, you call Preeti. She has not been there for a long time. Now she is coming to India now, this month sometime.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll call her.
Anybody coming to India from your side?
No.
So you are not coming to Janmashtami. Yuresh, you're coming to Janmashtami?
No, Prabhuji, not this year.
Why? Very busy?
Not busy. I mean, whenever I come, I normally plan a year ahead, maybe 6 months ahead. So I haven't planned anything for next 3-4 months at least.
ठीक है. Okay.
And we did a nice Rath Yatra yesterday here as well.
Oh, good. That's great. Actually, Shisha, we could have also done. We will also do the same date. What do you feel?
Yeah, bro.
Yesterday there was no rain here. And in Jagannath, rain, but nothing. People happily pulled the Ratha.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
But there was rain,
it's
bro.
auspicious.
Huh?
There was rain in Jagannath Puri.
That's what I'm saying. People still pull the Ratha aram se.
Yeah, with this aram se.
Anyway, there it is so hot. Rain is welcome, no? People are happy.
Yeah, it is better in rain actually.
That is one of the pastimes. When Lord comes out of this temple, this Sri Mandir, into the Ratha, that rain starts coming.
Oh, it's every year?
Oh,
Every
okay.
year. That's one of this one. Yeah. Till that we cannot bear that all this. It is so hot. They were putting water on from this one, from the tankers. They will spray on.
Oh, so the Indira does a service. So the Lord is coming out. He puts the rain to some place.
Every year it comes.
Interesting. Chalo. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Book reading.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Take